Hey guys, and welcome back to the Purple Fox channel. Here are today's shoutouts. If you'd like a shoutout, just be sure to comment hashtag Purple Fox channel and turn on all your notifications, and you can be randomly selected to get a shoutout. So without further ado, let's just get on into this video. Okay, so to be honest, this video is very much a filler video because this is the only thing that I decided to film this week because I have like 2 other videos that I am working on at the moment, none of which are done. So yeah. Sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed this anyway. It's like a little paint with me. I wanted to use my gouache, but I didn't know what to paint. So I decided to paint a sky, but I didn't like the sky. I probably should learn from my mistakes because I painted like clouds on the cover of my sketchbook, and then like I painted more clouds on my gouache review video. And here I am doing it a 3rd time. I think this time turned out better than all the others, but I still definitely need practice. I also wanted to paint like fish because fish in the sky, I don't know, I just thought it seemed cute. Yeah, this video really has no rhyme or reason to it. I am really sorry about how random it is, but I promise you there are going to be 2, like, normal-ish videos. One video I'm really excited about, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's just not ready yet. So yeah, look forward to that, I guess. So I start with just painting like a blue background for the sky. If you see me like reaching up a little bit, it's because I put my cup of water on the like 2nd tier, I guess, to my desk because I am very accident prone and I didn't want to spill the water on my sketchbook because I've already had that accident once. Technically nothing bad happened, but it really scared me. So yeah, you can't really see my palette either, but my phone could only capture so much distance. So yeah, I hope you guys can go with that too. Originally, I kind of wanted a gradient feel to it, but I realized it wouldn't really make sense with the clouds and like just the layout of everything in general, so I decided to scrap it and make it more or less the same color throughout. There is some differentiation, which I didn't mind, so yeah. Oh, and I got paint everywhere outside the tape because I am just a messy painter in general. I really don't know why. I just can't seem to stay inside the lines. So yeah, that kind of bothered me, but to be honest, I kind of fixed it to the end with a white Posca pen. So yeah. I started with the clouds. The cover was a little bit like too light. I think I added too much water the first time. So I went over the clouds with like several coats of paint over a couple days just so that it would stay and like not look like it's just water over paint, I guess. I really like the soft look I created with watering down the paints at first. It made it look a lot more natural, which I'm kind of happy about. Okay, so as you're seeing me just painting clouds, not much to say here. I'm going to talk about hitting 600 subscribers because we are super close, and yeah, once I hit 600 subscribers, I have a very special video planned. So yeah, I think we can hit it soon. I've been kind of like at the 90-ish mark for a while now, and I really can't wait to hit 600 subscribers because I'm really excited to film that video. So yeah, don't know how to end that. Oh, and kind of related to videos, I guess, in general, I saw that you all like wanted to hear more about my OCs or my story, so one of the videos that I am currently working on is taking longer than expected. I'm going to show you kind of behind the scenes of what I'm writing and the characters I'm designing and developing. So right now I made a list of like chapter progressions, I guess, in the book. I'm not really sure if I want it to be a book or like TV series or anything like that. I think I touched upon this in my last video, but here, look, I'm like 17 pages in. I'm not really sure the count, but look, I am really proud of it. Okay, here I was struggling. I don't know why. If any of you guys like who are experienced gouache painters can tell me like what I'm doing wrong in my entire technique, that would be much appreciated. But the coats just didn't not stick, like though I'm using like pure white gouache paint and it's not looking any different from the rest of it, and I don't know why. Like I came back a second day after this. I don't think this is where it is yet, but I come back and like go over all of it and it still doesn't look like as stand outy, like contrasty as like I wanted it to, and I really don't know why this was going on. So yeah, if any of you like gouache painters know what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. I painted some more clouds at the very bottom of the page, but the thing is I wanted it to be kind of cast in shadows, and none of the shadows really took to the paper. Maybe it's because I was putting way too much on this like sketchbook paper that isn't even meant for gouache, but yeah, it just wasn't working properly. This is probably my favorite gouache painting that I've ever made, but it wasn't as good as I hoped. I do enjoy gouache more than any other medium though, like for painting, because it just feels the easiest to control from like watercolor and acrylic, and it doesn't like dry up as quickly as acrylic does, so that was really helpful. Okay, so I wanted a little like underwater but in the sky kind of moment here, so I decided to paint some like seaweed kind of like floating, I guess, since they're in the sky. I wanted just to try out the green tones because I haven't really painted too much with them. I liked the selection that they gave us because I used all three of the green tones. I didn't really mix them too much just because I thought they were different enough to use straight from the pan itself. I really liked twisting the vines together and having them all come out on like different sides so they looked intertwined but also like separate. I don't know if that made any sense. I just really liked how I did this seaweed, and yeah, I think it added some nice like different tones once I go in and start painting the fish. So here I go in and add more just plain white to add like a little glowy effect, or at least where light has been cast on the clouds, and I did this after the paint had dried for like a full day. So yeah, I still don't know why it wasn't as prominent. I don't really know what I did. I hadn't watered it down or anything. It just wasn't staying like that, I guess. I don't know. I also added some more sky tones in general just because I felt like there was too many like clouds overlapping and there wasn't enough like negative space. I also accidentally went like and watered down the green tones just a little bit the day before, like when I had actually painted all the seaweed, so it looked like really less prominent, so I went in with another coat as well for this. I decided to add more seaweed because, I don't know, I just felt like the page needed it, and some of it was going to get covered up anyway by the fish, so, I mean, I just added more so that it would look, like, better once I added them. And here is where I started to paint the fish. So I wanted to kind of have the fish contrast a little bit and make them like a magenta kind of color. I don't know, I just thought it would be fun and I felt like using magenta. So I started just with some very generic fish shapes and I went in with more details with a Posca pen later. So as well as like just the base tone, I also added some shadows where I could and some highlights, and the highlights were really, really fun to do because it really made the fish come alive, I kind of feel like. Okay, here I wasn't really doing shadows, I was just doing some color differentiation in like the tail and the fins of the fish itself, and I just thought it made the fish like less monochromatic, I guess you could say, and I just thought it made it look cute. To stick with cell shading because soft shading just made everything look like I didn't put any effort into the shading at all, and it just looks like one color. So I think that cell shading worked for this, especially with the highlights. I just really like doing them. I was gonna add line art anyway to the fish, but I decided to just do a little bit of like pre-line art, I guess, with a really watered down light purple just to add some borders right now, so I knew exactly how I wanted the line art to be, and I think overall it added like a nice shadow to the fish as well, so I was pretty happy with that too. So here is where I decided to go in with line art. I originally started with a dark blue liner, but it wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be, so I switched to purple, and that worked a lot better. Ideally, I would have wanted like a really dark blue line art, but it didn't work out, so I didn't mind. I think the purple worked out better, and I just liked the color contrast in general. I did have to go over a few spots that I accidentally started with blue, so that was kind of hard because I'm very impatient and I decided not to wait for the Posca pen to dry. I added some scales with pink and some white highlights in general. I think I went a little overboard with the white highlights, if I'm being honest. I just really like highlights, and once you start doing them, they kind of get addictive, and basically the whole fish were filled with highlights. I also added a little bit of line art to the, the seaweed, because I just thought it kind of needed it after everything else was lined. And then I went in a little bit on the clouds to give it more definition, and then I just added some bubbles to kind of emphasize the water or like ocean in the sky kind of thing that we had going on. And after that, I was done with the entire gouache illustration. Here is a little compilation, I guess, of me peeling off the washi tape. Here is the finished gouache illustration. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this super filler video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!